Right, back with the Appetite Les Paul. We've already got the frets in, obviously, where the press can get in. The frets are hammered like this area and up the top where the horn interferes. Already done the fret ends with the old angled file malarkey. Don't use that word ever, but don't know why I said it there. And so yeah, you can see purple marker, the blue one's actually ran out, annoyingly. So, just as with that little Commodore. You can see a few frets where it's starting to take material off. I need to try and remember to have a consistent volume for my voice because I have my kind of quiet, half talking to myself, looking over stuff and doing things like that. But it's difficult because of the fucking camera and shit, if that makes sense. There you go, you can see see there's any purple left on top. Just in a couple of spaces, so I'll just keep going with that then, because it's almost there. Right, on to crowning. Now I've repenned all these. Should probably clean my file first. Still dirty from shaping nuts and saddles with it. I mean, of course, you don't have to use a 3-corner file. You can use whatever file you're most comfortable with. I like these ones because it feels like you have more control. You know, because I've got like the normal, just a straight crowning file, and a little Gurian file, but I don't know, when I got this and got used to the motion of it, I just stopped using the other two. I like these ones because if you have like just a small area, a couple of frets in each ground, under like 2 strings, literally, you can just take that much off that section of fret. Whereas if you kind of need the run of the whole fret, unless you're really good at using the tip. But I'm not, so it's always handy to have multiple different versions of tools. Yeah, I have 1 fret done. Let's go ahead and do the next one. And like I say, I like to just take the line off and no more. There's actually still a little bit there. But yeah, as long as the line's central, you're safe. And as long as you don't bring it to a point, because then you start heavily wearing into strings. you go. And you don't need to worry about pain on like the sides, because that'll just come off once you're polishing up. There you go. It's coming in down the fret ends. Not got the best position for it. Definitely need more control over the body so you don't dig the foul in. Just constantly run your finger over it to feel when you're kind of happy with it. I'm happy with that. Then just go on to the next one. Just one thing to note is when you're crowning over this area, the body gets in the way. So what I do is I crown half the fret on one side and then do the other half the fret from the other side, and that avoids you putting any damage to the body or anything like that. Yeah, it's because obviously Les Pauls and other single cut guitars are awkward to work on. And again, just a file that has no teeth on this edge, so it doesn't dig in to the fretboard, I should say. Maybe need a wee bit more off. Again, this is one of those things that's purely by feel, because you can run your finger over it and feel where it's sharp, where it's not, and where you want to be taking material off. I know up in this specific section it doesn't matter so much because obviously you're never going to get cut up there in the playing position, but it's details. And it's details like that that people really look for when you're doing a job. So that's this one done. Just need to polish the frets now. Yeah. On to polishing frets. I've done my 4, 6 and 1200 grits. I did in steel wool. Remember with the sandpaper, go along first and then across and get the edges. I've done up to about here, so it's got to keep going. Let's see if we can get a good angle. Right, so that's that fret. Trying to do this looking through the camera, so it's not easy. You can see the difference, I hope. Yep. Just got to do all that, then start the cleanup. Rather right to explain this, just scraping, cleaning. Just gets all the, helps get all the dirt out. Cleans up any glue from the frets, and helps your inlays a bit. Although this one doesn't seem to be doing much for the inlays. Maybe just a little bit. Certainly removing all the sanding marks. Right, that's all cleaned up and nothing fancy here, just unlocked lemon oil. Just kind of slather it on, and then I have a separate bit of cloth that I just wipe it all in with. Apologies that you're not seeing much, but there isn't much to see. There you go, and I'll just leave that for a couple hours. Well, let's see, where are we? It's 20 to 10 tonight, so I'll probably leave that overnight and then set it up tomorrow. Okay, so I've taken the nut and I've marked the line kind of where I want the slots to be. The treble strings are okay, but these ones are a bit low. I do like it to sit a bit higher, so I think I'm going to shim the nut. I'm quite heavy-handed, well, I can be, and having a little bit extra space works out well for me. So I'm just going to, should add a piece sitting about earlier. Oh, there it is. Just a piece of maple veneer. It's red because I've tested out some paint on it, so it's not doesn't add much thickness. And I'm just going to basically stick that to that and cut it out. Just a couple of dots of glue, just hold it in place. I really don't need any more than that, just 3 tiny dots. There you go, just stuck on like that. Good thing about veneer is that it is really just easy to cut. I'll kind of rough it in with scissors and then cut it more precisely with a scalpel. So let's see. You don't want to try and do it in one pass, you want to take multiple passes. There you go. Where are we? There we are. Sometimes you have to refit it, kind of. Yeah, like that's sitting forward, so I just need to take some more material off. Just bring it in with the chisel. See, it's never very much, it's just literally just little bits like that. Check that. Reasonably happy with that, but it's rocking a bit. But at least it's enough to check the height. As you can, that's near enough perfect. I'll maybe clean this slide because this was sticking on me earlier and I think I used some glue to bump it up, so at least I can, gives me scope to bring that down slightly. You can't even see that. Yeah, the line kind of goes through below the slot. Looks like I can bring the G, actually looks like I can bring all of them down slightly. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to sort out that fit there because it'll focus, because I'm not happy with that. Meant to say these veneers are only about 1/2 millimetre thick, I actually think. Tell you exactly. Oh, this one is actually 0.5, but you get a lot of veneers that are 0.6. So yeah, you're literally bumping the nut up 1/2 millimetre and it's making all the difference closer to where you want it to be. Just thought I'd add that in before I went any further. It's just another little technique I've developed for sorting out nut slots. The double-sided tape on this is pretty worn out, so it's not sticking too well, but just take a bit of sandpaper, double-side stick it to the bottom of the nut. That should hold well enough, and then I press the nut against the fingerboard and just go back and forth to kind of even up the nut slot. just need to go a little bit at a time. But it still needs quite a lot to go. So that's one technique I use, just a little bit of sandpaper. This is a bit that I've used for another nut, so it's not sized properly for this one, but as I say, this is my guitar, so I don't mind cutting a few corners, just reusing a piece. But like if this was someone else's guitar, I would get a fresh piece, fresh paper, fresh tape, and do it as cleanly and perfectly as possible. Right. Once you've done sanding this, you kind of want to take a chisel and get it right in the corner, because it actually rounds the corner, sanding it that way. But that's that bit done. It's much happier with the fit of that, see it's not rocking as much. And just quickly recheck the line. That is near enough perfect height without actually touching anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on. I like to use super glue for everything. Just a tiny dot. The glue on the bottom is overkill, you only kind of need it on this face. There you go. Gonna give the slots a quick clean. Like I said, I'm not actually taking any material off, I'm just using the file to clean the slots of any dirt and debris. It's quite a bit of pencil lead. Clean up the rest, and now we're ready for strings. Using 11s on this because I keep it tuned to a half step down, and having the 11s really just gives you, it doesn't feel as loose, and you tend to not overbend and things like that. So it's kind of like having 10s in standard, in my opinion. Yeah, because that's the rule of thumb I follow. If you go down a semitone, go up a string gauge, but you know, it's all personal preference, so you just kind of do what you do. Yeah. Just quickly showing my stringing technique. Again, so you pull the bass strings, use 2 fingers, treble strings, use 3, pinch it there, bend up, and then wind it on. And I let all my wrappings go underneath, I don't do above and below and things like that. And yeah, so I always work bottom to top, because if you do the D string, then do the G string, that string will be in the way when you do the subsequent strings. So that's not much to it. I know I need to clean my bench again, but always gets messy when I'm doing work. Sorry. This little Poundland tripod isn't the most stable thing. Oh, I'll go under. There we go. And like I said, keep the strings long until they're stretched. I use a string stretcher for that because it does it in like 5 minutes. I'll just come back when I'm pretty much ready to tune up. Right, spent all afternoon working on it. Now it's all set up finally. Had a little high fret I needed to take down a bit more, so now it's playing cleanly. Yeah, action 2mm, 1.5mm, 1.5mm pickup height, just the usual. That's as much as I'm playing of that. And it's been annoying because I haven't played this guitar in about 2 weeks. So being able to actually just pick up again. So I can't stop playing it. Been sidetracked because of other folks' guitars coming in. But I bloody love this guitar. I'm so glad to have it playing again. So that's all there is, and I'll be cranking this through my big Marshalls. I don't know if you can see them in the background. Probably plug in a JCM 800 tomorrow and just let it rip for a couple hours. Anyway, that's all.